Florian Wirtz is a Liverpool player. Now, first of all, before I even get into anything, the number one thing that I think is driving everybody crazy is the price, right? Oh, 100 million euros, 100 million pounds, 160 million euros, 127, 150, whatever the figure is, it doesn't matter to me. Because when you're getting a player of this quality, none of that matters. I don't care what he costs. It's not my money. I don't care about that. The number one thing that I'm excited about is the flexibility that this gives our team. Liverpool, right? I'm a Liverpool fan. Been a Liverpool fan my whole life, basically, since I started watching football. The flexibility that this gives our team is incredible. Now, we don't know what's going to happen with Gakpo. If he's going to Bayern. We don't know if Diaz is going to Saudi or if he's going to Barcelona. We know Nunez is leaving. We don't know if Jota is leaving. All these things are moving, right? Our team is still coming together this early in the window. But what it tells me is that we can play him on the left. We can play him on the middle. We can play him wherever we can play him as a false nine. He's a flexible, talented player that can link up everything. He can score goals. He can get assists. And when I think about the signing of Frimpong, the impending signing of Kirkes, and who knows if we get a striker, right? Who knows if we get a striker, Isak, whoever. That's what I want, the most. But it doesn't matter who we get. Those three signings, or 2.5 basically, they tell me that we're changing the way we play. The way we've played for the last 10 years, basically under Klopp, we're moving away from that. It's not going to be heavy metal. And we saw last season a lot more control, a lot more methodical in the way we played. McAllister and Gravenberch having a lot of the ball rather than us giving a lot of the ball to our fullbacks, which is what we used to play with. This is how we used to play. We want our midfielders to take control of the game. And when you have a Gravenberch and you have a McAllister that can dictate the pace of a game, and then you have Wirtz in between the pockets, picking it up, finding passes, we can really choke teams out. Right, so I'm excited about that aspect of it. But when I think about what Frimpong gives us on the right, and what Kirkes potentially will give us on the left, and what Wirtz and McAllister and Gravenberch and their control and their passing and their vision and the way we're going to manipulate the ball, I'm over the moon, because we were one of the highest scorers in the Premier League last season. But we can be so much more. Right, we didn't have a striker that was consistent, that could finish chances. We didn't have, we created chances, but when I saw the kind of positions that, for example, Soboslai was in, he could have created so many more chances. He could have so many more assists. Certain times it would be 3-on-1 on a break. Soboslai would have the ball and he'd just make the pass too early, or he'd make the pass out too wide, or Gravenberch would drive with the ball, but his final decision, maybe you hold on to the ball too long, think too long, or Curtis Jones, who's probably the number one player at doing this, is holding on to the ball too long. Now we have a player that we can trust in any position with the ball. Whether it's on the right, whether it's on the left, whether it's down the middle, we can trust him to make the right decision with the ball at all times. Right? I'm one of those people that I watch the Bundesliga. I have an ESPN Plus subscription. I watch La Liga games. I watch Bundesliga games. If it's Bayern, Dortmund, Leipzig, Leverkusen, maybe even Stuttgart, I'll throw them in there. But mostly those first 4 teams, I watch all their games because I'm curious to see what kind of players that they have, what kind of players that could be moving to another league, right? So I know people always say, "Oh, Bundesliga tax." If he's playing the Bundesliga, we don't know if he's really that good. There's some players that I see in the Bundesliga that I'm like, if they go to any other league, they will excel. The Olises, the Canes, of course. Xavi Simons, Musiala, Sesko, even Openda, right? So there's so many players in the Bundesliga that can excel in different leagues, and Florian Wirtz is at the top of that list, at the very top of that list. What it gives us, like I said, the flexibility, increased control, right? Like I said, with Soboslai, he's a great PMP player, but I don't see him necessarily as a great number 10. I see him as a great number 8. I see him as a great, flank player that can bomb up and kind of I don't want to insult or upset any Madrid fans, but it's kind of like a poor man's Valverde, right? The shooting, the pace, the power, the up and down. Like, he's that type of player. As a Madrid fan, would you want Valverde as your number 10? You wouldn't, right? You'd want Arda Güler, you want Bellingham, you'd want, the more technical vision, type players, right? And that's what we missed a lot of times. I can't remember. I think it was Jimmy Carragher has said that Liverpool, as good as this team is, they can improve in 3 different positions. They can improve in left back, which we're going to do with Kirkesh. They can improve in the 10 position, which we're going to do with Wirtz. And they can improve in the number 9 position, which we're likely going to do at some point in the summer with Nunez and possibly Jota leaving. So we can improve in that area. And then that changes the way we line up. Maybe now we go, obviously we stick with the back 4, but maybe now it's Wirtz off the left, Szoboszlai down the middle, but in build-up, we push Frimpong forward, we push Kirkesh forward, we drop Gravenberch deeper, we put McAllister and Szoboszlai as kind of a double pivot with Wirtz in the 10, and you have Kirkesh controlling an entire flank by himself, right? And we've seen this with these uber athletic left backs. They can do it, right? I'm not going to sit up here and be like, oh, Kirkesh is as good as Alejandro Balde or as good as Nuno Mensch, but we've seen players that are capable of doing that. Kirkesh, to me, is an incredible PNP fullback. Kind of what we had with Robertson for so many years. He can control a whole flank by himself, and he's not going to be alone, obviously. If he has to recover, you have Van Dijk still there. You have McAllister still on that side to be able to, or Szoboszlai able to. So we have players that can help him to control that flank by himself. And you give full creative license to Wirtz and Salah on the right. Now, so Wirtz and Salah, the last 2 players, the only 2 players in the last 2 seasons to have 10 goals, 10 assists in back-to-back seasons, right? We're going to create so many chances. Obviously, we're losing Trent's creativity from deep, but that doesn't mean we lose all creativity. We still have Salah, and now we have Wirtz, we still have McAllister, we have Kirkesh as well. We didn't get anything from the left back position basically all season, right? We didn't get anything from the left back position. We're gonna have a different dynamic on the right side with the right back bombing forward at every chance he gets. Maybe Salah inverts a little bit, but all of this is happening because of Wirtz. Yes, it's great if you have fullbacks that can go up and down the pitch and do all these things, but if you don't have the element of control, increased control, where you can trust a player to be able to pick out everything he needs to pick out on the pitch, none of that matters because you're going to be losing the ball. Remember 2 seasons ago under Klopp, we'd always go down in games. We had no control in the midfield. We were just getting bombed every single first 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. We're down 1-0. We're down. We saw that last season. That did not happen last season. I don't know how many times we went down in a game last season. I don't know, between 5 or 10, maybe. For like first goal, we consider the first goal, maybe 5 to 10 times. Whereas it was like 20 times this season before. So that's what we're going to get tactically with Wirtz. Technically with Wirtz, you're getting a player with incredible dribbling ability. This is something we haven't had since Coutinho. A player that can play in between the lines, get in the edge of the box, edge of the 18-yard box, and weave his way through defenders. I don't care about, Bundesliga attacks. Watch the games. Watch this guy against it. Watch him for Germany. Just watch him. Don't think about, all the agenda, all those things. Just watch him for the player that he is. He can maneuver in any space. He can pick out any pass. He can shoot from range. He can finish inside the box. Right foot, left foot. We are getting an incredible player. We're getting a player that, for me, if I think about the last kind of 10, which was Coutinho, we're getting a player that we have to see how he does in the Premier League. But when we got Coutinho, he wasn't as good as Wirtz is now. And it's difficult to say if he was ever as good as Wirtz is now. Right? It's a toss-up. We have to see how he plays his first season in the Premier League before we can decide if he's better than Coutinho. But from what I've seen for the last 2.5 years watching him, this is a box office player. This is you walk into the Premier League and you're a top 5 player, just a top 5 attacker. I don't want to, because you're going to put Van Dijk in there and you're going to put defenders in. But top 5 attackers, I mean, who are you looking at? You're looking at Haaland from Man City. You're looking at Salah, obviously from Liverpool. Saka, Arsenal. Palmer, Chelsea. I mean, then who? Like, this is a top 5, arguably a top 5 Premier League attacker already. That gives our team so much more flexibility moving forward. So I'm excited. All the rival fans have said what they want to say about the price tag, the Bundesliga tags, but I vividly remember how excited everybody was when they saw that he was linked. Let me not say everybody. How Bayern and Man City fans were excited when they said, "Oh, Florian Wirtz is leaving," and these are the two potential teams that three potential teams he could go to: Liverpool, Bayern, and City. Oh man, this guy's incredible. What a talented player. Probably the best German talent, maybe alongside Musiala. And now this come to Liverpool, it's the price tag. Bundesliga tax. Is he even that good? Is he worth the money? None of that matters to me. Because I think another thing we have to consider is the situation he's coming into. You're coming into the perfect scenario, right? Champions of the Premier League. A team that has the perfect balance of age and youth. You have obviously the Alissons, the Van Dijks, the Salah, the Konates, McAllister, experienced players. And then you have younger type players like Frimpong, Kirkesh, Gravenberch, Soboslai, players that are still coming into their own, right? So he has the balance of everything going for him. So that's why I'm excited about this signing. I think it's going to be a perfect signing for us in terms of what he's going to produce from the first season. It depends how much he plays. I think Arne Slot is the kind of type of manager that he plays his best players as often as he can. So you're probably looking at, if there's no injuries, 30 to 35 games that Florian Wirtz gets to play. Maybe 90 minutes, maybe an average of 80 minutes, I don't know. But I'm looking at a 10-10 player minimum. Call me crazy, but for the amount that we're paying, you need to give us 20 GA in the Premier League or around there. Or at least if you're not going to give us that much, the creativity that comes from your play needs to generate that many goals, that many assists for second assist, a big chance created. Like, you need to generate chances, and I think he's capable of that. He's shown he's not flustered by the big moment. He literally won Leverkusen the title with a hat trick. Like, he's not flustered by anything. So I think it's a great signing. I think he's coming to a great situation. And I'm excited to see how he fits in, because I think he's going to be a box office player. And when more signings come in, when the Kirkers is confirmed, when our striker comes in, then I'll make a video about how I think we're really going to line up tactically, what we're really going to look like. But I'm excited. I think this team, with another center back, with another winger, with the forward, of course, 3 more signings, I think we're raring to go for the season. I think we can repeat. I see what City's doing with Shirky, with Reinders. They have talented players coming in. Who knows what Arsenal will do? But I think we have the strongest squad right now. That's just my humble opinion. So we'll see how that plays out. But I'm confident Florian Wirtz is going to be a success, and I can't wait to see him in a Liverpool shirt. I don't know what number he's going to get. Some are saying 27. Some are saying 7 if Diaz leaves. I wish he could wear 10, but obviously that's McAllister's number. But let's see. I'm excited, and we'll see what we get with Florian Wirtz, which I think is going to be an exceptional player. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please like the video. Share a comment on what you think about Florian Wirtz as a player, as a talent, in the Liverpool setup. What do you think is going to look like? And then obviously subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let's see you guys soon. Have a blessed day.